Hi everybody, welcome to this free playthrough with tailwind shots only for the Pro and Expert division in the Aquatic Retreat 9-hole cup, because we have a tailwind only modifier on this event. Replays of all 9 holes taken from previous tournaments. Please hit thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Remember, you will need to tweak the setups according to the wind angles you will get, as this is not tournament wins, but hopefully you will get some that are very close indeed and will be easy to tweak and adapt according to your wind angle, clubs, balls and play style. Timestamps in the video description down below, and remember these shots were before the ball attribute levels changed, so if I refer to P3 settings, that now is P6 depending what wind app you are using. If you're using Clash Caddy, it is as per the video. If you are using Notebook, you need to double them. Same with the balls. Titan is now power 6, Berserker now power 10, and so on. Good luck everybody, here we go. Okay, we have a nice tailwind on hole 1. Of course, if you do want to try and blast it, you can, but for me, I much prefer laying up and going for the thorn second shot. Just under 6 topspin, 3 bars side spin to the right. Leave yourself room before the rough for your first bounce due to tailwind, and we're going to aim at the rocks in the distance. Max plus 20, power 2 settings. We are using a katana. If you don't have Extra Mile 8 plus or Apocalypse 3 plus, then you can use the big topper instead. Make sure you look at the position of the second bounce with your spins added, just to check you've got everything else correct, even if you're using a different accuracy club. Outer wall curl to the right, and we're looking to get this one around 350 yards. Second shot, going to check distance here with a fringe check where the fringe meets the green. Plus 2 here, and my suggestion here based on the lip out that we get in the video is to go 66% slider, 10% elevation. You can use drive distance if you want to, if you don't want to do fringe check, if that isn't possible, but fringe check is the most accurate reference that we can have here. 1.5 backspin, aim at the pin, but ball guide just short of cup, especially with thorn 8 and 9, otherwise you will come in too hot. Even shorter with obviously thorn 7 or lower. So 66 slider, 10% elevation based on this very unfortunate lip out here. Perfect ball away, pulling over the bullseye. We think we're going to drop it, but very unlucky just to catch the right edge and take a 180 out on hole number 1. Hole number 2, we do have a hole in 1 here. Recommend to keep the wind below 6.6 miles per hour. Just over 5 backspin, about 5.1, and just over 1.5 right spin. So 5.1 backspin, 1.6 right spin. Blue ring touching the rough, and just look where the ball guide is there. It seemed to be long there to the right, but then you move it a click to the left and it is a shorter ball guide. Second bounce just before the fringe, so find your position carefully. It is a tough one to find, but very important to do so. Adjustment max plus 30. Max plus 30 on this one, and use power 2 settings even if you don't use a Kingmaker. If you get low wind with a Kingmaker, then you can use a katana instead. So power 2 numbers, then we are going to hit this one perfect, and we drop it beautifully for a lovely hole in 1. Tough par 3 though here, so a drop here is a real bonus, but gives you something to work from. 4.5 top spin, 2 right spin. Using the extra mile, obviously if you want to use a more accurate driver, then by all means go ahead. Top of plus 11 with the extra mile 8, I do decide to go with, not 13. You'll see me change in a minute. 4.5 top spin, 2 right spin, top of plus 11, because I do want to make this minor great proof. And there we just aim with the tip of the ball guide pointing in the centre of that narrow strip of fairway. Max plus 15 is the adjustment on this one. Extra mile 6 and 7 going to be fine. You set up at the top of plus 13 yards instead. Perfect ball away. We're going to get this one above 360 yards, and we want to be middle of fairway, which we do. Second shot, sniper going for the bounce down again. 3.6 backspin, 1 bar side spin to the left. As you spin first, set up, get a nice landing position here with the ball guide pointing at the pin, but stopping a couple of green squares short. Then we're going to use landing spot plus yards here. Plus 5. Here I'm playing this 68% slider, 10% elevation. but I do go with different power settings. I would like you to go with power 1 settings here. I've tried power 2 and power 3, always over adjusting. So go with power 1 numbers. I think it's going to get you closer, if not in. So 68% slider, 10% elevation for +5. Power 1 numbers, but just missing left. So I do hope a slightly less adjust will get you in. Hole 4 we do have predominantly tailwind, so it's going to be the Grizzly. 1 bar of topspin, and then we're going to aim with the ball guide just pointing to the left edge of the cup. The tip of the ball guide, you will see when I zoom in, is along the edge of those dark green square columns. So 1 bar of topspin. Then we're going max +20 power 1 settings. If you get high wind, I would switch to a Kingmaker, try and keep the wind below 6.6. Grizzly 8 numbers I would suggest using regardless of the level of your Grizzly, because we are not at max distance of club, but I am using max numbers. So max +20 on this one, can have a very, very good chance of hole in one. Perfect ball away, and it's tracking nicely, and we drop it right at pin for a lovely hole in one on hole 4. Eagle coming up now on hole 5. Going to use the rock and a Titan. Half of the red ring inside the rough on the right. Plus 10 yards with the rock level 8. Max distance with the rock level 7. +9 with the rock level 9. 3.8 topspin, 2 bars side spin to the right. Then we're going to adjust max distance, 20% elevation. And once we've done that, we are going to take our shot with half a ball of curl to the right. Using the rock here because a great left, great right is still going to be safe. Perfect ball, and we want a drive distance of around 370 yards on this one. Doesn't matter if you're a couple of yards shorter or longer, because next shot we're going to play from the complete minimum distance line. So pack the Grizzly in order to find complete min very easily with the sniper. Blue ring touching the rough on the left at min. Then we're going to add spins to get the ball guide just through the hole. And you'll see when I zoom in here, it is favouring the left side of the cup just gradually. So just favouring left side of cup. Adjustment here, I play min +0, power 3. But we do drop it right side, so I would suggest to get an extra decimal, you go min +5, power 1 settings. Just gives you an extra 0.1, which I do believe will drop this one right at the pin, which is obviously what we do want to try and do. So min +5, power 1 would be my suggestion here. The spins you need will vary depending on your position. And here we go with hole 6. Very nice tailwind on this one. And we're going to go with the driver with 6 bars of topspin, but you could use extra mile 6 or 7, in which case you would need to apply a little bit of overpower to gain some distance. So 6 topspin, 1 bar side spin to the left, add your spin and start at max point down the middle of the fairway. Once we've found our position, we're going to adjust max +10. And once that is done, we're going to then spin the camera around and pull back up to max distance of our club, regardless of club level. We're going back up to max. Then we're going to take our shot. No overpower with an extra mile 8+ or Apocalypse 5+, but anything lower than those levels, I would give it 1 ring of overpower, especially with extra mile 6 or 7 to make up for the lack of topspin. We want to get this one around 395 to 400 yards, because we are going to play aggressive with a rough bump. If you are not in range for the rough bump, then simply play a bounce over shot instead to secure the eagle. But if you can get for the rough bump, go for it. Between 4 and 4.5 topspin. Here I'm aiming at the pin, ball guide stopping 2 green squares short. However, I would just tweak the position slightly here. We do miss left. So I would be tempted really to aim a click to the right. Then we're going to use our plus yards. +2 yards is 65% slider, 0 elevation. And I do recommend, as I do here, you need a flicker of 11.59 on your pull. If you do not get the 11.59 right here, you may miss the rough. So make sure you use some 11.59. Perfect ball away, and you will see we do catch the rough nicely here. And we are getting good speed, but just missing to the left, but a very, very close attempt for the albatross. White ring touching the rough on the right. Max distance with rock 6 and 7, top of +10 with the rock 8, top of +9 with the rock 9. 2 top spin. In the video here I go with 1.5 right spin. I would suggest you just revise that down to about 1.2, just so that we have a little bit more room to be in the middle of the plus yards for the fringe check that I'm going to recommend for the second shot. So white ring touching the rough on the right, max +20, and then we're going to take our shot. No curl, but I would advise you go with a 1.2 right spin instead. Perfect ball away, we are going to be in the 320s for the yardages here. You've got a great left, you've got a great right, and even with those you're going to have a good chance at a drop here with the rough bump. So 324 yards. Second shot coming up now, do a back fringe check. So get that bullseye over the back of the green where the fringe meets the green. So it's the nearest of the two on the back fringe. +9 is going to give me 30% slider value, 10% elevation. You need 1.3 backspin. Me just checking to see if we could do rings from min instead or as well, but the fringe check is absolutely fine here, and it's a good angle for the rough bump. 1.3 backspin, find your position with the ball guide going to the pin. There we are. Once we've done that, we adjust. This is 30% slider, 10% elevation, 2.5% slider per yard either way on your fringe check, and we do a straight pull. And we hit perfect, and a perfect ball here is going to have an absolutely excellent chance of dropping in my experience. Bounces beautifully in the rough, and we have right at the pin drop there with perfect pace for the eagle. Hole 8, tough hole this one, so don't be surprised if this does not go in the hole. 0.8 top spin with a navigator, so you've got room to adjust. And you want the blue ring touching the bunker, and you'll see the tip of the ball guide will be at the edge of the darker column of green squares, just missing left edge pin. Very difficult hole though, you can't really zoom in to adjust. You've got a massive downhill bounce to take into account, so I really wouldn't recommend wasting too many tokens trying to practice this one. It is very difficult. Max +40, power 1. Either way though, you are going to get close here, if not in. So if you do get the drop, then be very, very thankful. We are just going to burn the left edge here, or just miss slightly left. But good speed there with 0.8 topspin, max +40, power 1. You can play with the rock level 7+, 3.9 topspin, 2 bars side spin to the left. Rock 9 is going to set up at the top of +9. Rock 8 will set up at the top of +10, and then of course rock level 7 you will have less power available. You're going to set up at max distance. Add your spin first, find your landing position, white ring touching the rough in all cases. You can look at the second bounce as well, it's just on the edge of the rough line. Then the adjustment, regardless of your club level, you're going to play 1-on-1 with the Kingmaker. So 8.2 in wind, you're going to adjust 8.2 rings. No need for any wind apps here, just 1-on-1. No curl, just hit perfect. Obviously a minor great left, minor great right with the rock is going to be fine as well, but we want to try and hit perfect if we can. Drive distance, you want around 350 yards. Second shot, going to show you an attempt here. We'll need a little bit of a tweak though, which I will suggest. Add 2 bars of topspin, then back the target up, get round that little glitchy area, and then you want the tip of the ball guide to be approximately 3 to 4 green squares short of the pin to compensate for the tailwind push. Then we're going to play true club distance plus 10% elevation, power 3. So for plus 8 yards, play this one 90% slider, 10% elevation. The tweak here that I would suggest is go with a flicker of 1201. This is because I missed to the left. Is a little bit of a touchy shot here, so may need some further investigation as well if you have the time and the tokens. But the speed is nice. I just think a little bit of 1201 will pull us less to the left and therefore would be aiming more at the pin. But there's a couple of other tweaks you could try as well. But the speed is nice on this par 5. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.